Hello, welcome. We're attempting a painting video. Yeah. I took this photo of just a patch of flowers that was in like a small garden area in front of a building, and I just wanted to kind of like work through kind of just like putting it down on paper. I am not technically trained in any way in terms of like painting. I just enjoy it, and we're just gonna hop right into it. So my palette's a mess, but I have a piece of Master's Touch watercolor pad paper on this cardboard. Okay, so I have this leftover green and this white. I don't know how usable the green is at this point. Where am I to find out? Oh, it's pretty usable yet. Okay. Ugh. So we're gonna hop into it. I'm kind of just going with the flow. I've been trying to work on commission art for the past day basically, and I've just been in like a frustrating mindset basically. So I thought, what's better than just continuing to paint more but trying to change up my subject a little bit. As you can guess, this might be, depending on how this goes, a bit of a longer video, so I hope you're comfy, feel like chatting or whatever. This is definitely a type of video I would just throw on in the background, knowing me. But yeah, I don't know, I've been thoroughly enjoying my work lately, but I've also been like, it's been very up and down, and I feel like I'm being like somewhat of a perfectionist about my work, and just that like I'm never happy. I think I'm just like a never-ending like tweaker, where I'm like, what if I did this? What if I did this? And it's just like more curiosity and like always feeling like it could be better, which I guess is perfectionism. I don't really know. Is it? I will also probably be straying heavily from the photos, the colors in the photo to a degree, just because I'm using up old acrylic paint that I'm trying to get rid of. That's pretty green. I've purchased the paints I'm trying to build my kit out of, but I'm trying to only use those for commissions or like when they're absolutely necessary. So anything that's for fun can be whatever, but I'm only doing that so often, and I feel like I was in a huge painting groove for like, I don't know, quite a while, and I've just fallen out of it except for like my commission work. So it is what it is. And I'm very, very thankful that people trust me to make things for them, bring their vision to life, capture a moment, commemorate something, whatever it may be. And it's been a lot of fun because, especially because it is people who know me, I'm able to kind of work through my system of what's the best way to be setting up, to be communicating about these things, like kind of stuff like that. And so I'm figuring that kind of stuff out, which I've watched many people talk about commission work, and that's obviously tends to be the hardest part, I think most people would say. But also something with that, because I'm not really a niche or a specific style or focus, which is fine. I don't think everyone needs to be. It's like led to me having to almost consistently figure out how to do things, which when I'm doing it for other people is a little bit nerve-wracking. I don't really focus on anything, so people who know I just make art are like, oh, can like you do this, and can we do this? And they've all been super, super understanding and being like, well, you do like what you're good at, blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know what I'm good at. But I've thoroughly enjoyed all of it. It's just that little voice in the back of my head that's like, are you sure you do this? All right, going in with, this is just almost finished tube of some alizarin alizarin crimson. Fun time. I'm pretty sure I was given a kit of these like for my birthday like years ago, and I'm still working through. I see like 4 or 5 of those left. This yellow is part of my kit, but it is literally the only yellow I have and the only like bright color I've left, so that has been getting used just a bit. I'm gonna go in with the yellow and start to place some shapes. I'm not very good at like matching. Oh, it's gonna get green. It's okay. I'm not very good at matching photos. I kind of just start to like go for shapes and placement, but I definitely stray from what I look at. I would never ever consider myself a realistic creator of any kind. It's not really something that intrigues me. I'm very amazed by it when I see other people do it, but it's just not something I find fun. I'm always trying to play around with like that mixture of detail and I guess kind of like it's kind of impressionistic. That's definitely like the type of work I'm the most drawn to. I literally found 2 books on impressionism at a thrift store a couple weeks ago, and I was just like panning through them and just having a grand old time. It is something I just really enjoy looking at. It's generally nature, obviously they did people and whatnot, but I feel like most known pieces are nature or landscapes or something, and it's just like that feeling so nice. I wonder if people consider like impressionistic, I'm sure they do, kind of like a cop-out, because you're kind of just like smushing paint around. I don't know, I feel like you still see light, you still see shape, but just differently. Or, now catch this, is it like, what if impressionism existed? Well, this doesn't factually make any sense, but if it existed because the people who were painting wanted to be realistic, but they had really bad eyesight. And that's at no disrespect to painters or of any kind. I'm just picturing like, well, impressionism is kind of how I see things when I'm not wearing my glasses or contacts. So, what if that's all it was? I now feel like I need to go paint a landscape without having any kind of visual assistance, which would give me a massive headache, but might be a fun challenge. Fun. It would literally look the same as me having contacts. You'd have to paint realistically first for I think that to be an interesting challenge. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. It's been a really long day and it's not that late yet, so not that late, it's like 4 p.m. I've really been enjoying flowers. I mean, kind of always, but I feel like especially lately, that's like something I really enjoy, that or like a woodscape of some kind. It's probably like the most fun. Just the shape, the texture. Flowers are really fun because I love like, as you can see, just my like kind of dramatic, all over the place brush strokes. I just love swoops and all of it coming together. And it's just a fun time. I bought myself some lilies a week ago and they're finally all like blooming and kind of on the verge of like they're gonna start looking real sad real soon. And I've been meaning to paint them because I just have wanted like a live painting session and I'm just not sure how I want to do it. I will probably end up doing a video portion of some kind with it because I really want to like maybe just focus on like one lily and talk through like shape and stuff. Maybe post it on Instagram. I don't know. I'm a person who, as I've mentioned a bajillion times in this video, even though I'm not technically trained, I feel like I'm someone who likes to heavily encourage experimentation, and especially amongst people who like are the type of people who will go like, oh my god, that's so cool, like I wish I could do something like that, in the sense that like they do want to try it, but they're just afraid of looking like shit or making a fool of themselves. And that's like my group of people that I love to, I guess, amp up, encourage, because like I don't think everyone, the idea that you can only be an artist if you're known or you sell a painting for who knows how much is like a really dumb idea, because we all have the ability to like do something, and as long as it makes us happy, that's truly in the end what matters. So I don't care if like fun is like drawing stick figures. I'm gonna be like, yeah, draw stick figures all day, every day. Keep doing it every day. I think if we stress too much about being technically correct, we're just never going to achieve anything. So I think it's like finding a good balance. I totally just lost that flower in paint. That sounded like an absolute crazy person. Because every time I feel like I go to say it, I feel like I sound crazy. I just feel like not that I don't see myself as a very standard teacher, like in a school sense. Like I don't see myself as that type of person, as a very structured, what we would consider a teacher, but I just feel like I would enjoy the challenge of being in that type of role, largely because I just want people to feel comfortable to try things. Instead of just adding white, I'm going to try going in with, this is a slightly different crimson, but it's more like orangey. And I think, I know the photo is more pink, but as we've gone over, I don't care. And I'm just going to add this wherever I just either want a visual line, like this flower had a rough day, so we're going to break up the shape here, or I like to use it in this instance where it's just like color blocking, adding some detail, just making it a little bit more interesting to look at. Too much orange, but I might just use it for some lines to make that just a little bit easier. This is where it's fun to go in with a bit of water and just kind of grab whatever little color you can get, and just create some defining lines. This is where we say, screw your rules. I'm doing what I want. Alright, so, trying to decide what I want to do. I have this really nice yellow ochre that won't match anything. I love the I almost knocked over my water. Speaking of which, I'm gonna try, I love this color. I really would get a whole tub of it if it was up to me, and I might at some point, but for now I'm holding off. My brush is super wet. I'm not really sure where this is going quite yet, but I think I'm going to end up going over areas with just straight yellow. So by going in with some of this, it's just making it a little bit more interesting, maybe. It's basically laying the shadow below it before I go back in with what I essentially want at least a mid-tone or maybe highlight to be. Alright, I'm going to put some more yellow. This is also just primary yellow, in case anyone was curious. I decided to splurge and get a big old tube, telling myself I am now committing to a paint palette. I am such, not that I want to get back on the like high horsity of anything. But the reason I thoroughly love to encourage people to just make stuff is because I don't like the idea. Creating art, I'm speaking in like art terms at the moment, can be very expensive, very fast, and even though I am aware I have spent good money on some supplies, I also want to encourage that like you can just do stuff with whatever. Like you can still make things. There's really nothing stopping you from making things. And I think waiting on a perfect item is a bit of a mistake, because then you're putting all the idea that your creativity is like in an item, and not that there aren't times to upgrade and get things that are better that will just make your life easier or can improve your work. But I think that comes after you've learned how you like to make things, or even if you went for a more technical thing after you've learned some of the technicalities. Like pretty much everything I own for art, a lot of it has been in clearance aisles, general brand. I've worked with kids paint literally before. A lot of secondhand art supplies. I get most of my art supplies anymore secondhand, probably except my paint. But even that, if I found secondhand paint, I probably would think about it. There was white detailing on the edges of these, but I think for right now I'm gonna go yellow and then maybe go over that yellow with a touch of white. Thoughts. This is 110% how I make shit. This is how I make shit. It's very just instinctual, with the knowledge that this could go south at any moment. And I'm getting paint on my arms as we speak. I am very lightly dragging the yellow to kind of create a little bit of texture, to not do straight lines, like just a thick stroke or anything, except where I feel I want it. I'm getting paint on the table. So the yellow is definitely very much too wet that it will just smear everywhere if I do that. Is there anything I want to add? The tulips look kind of sad, I will admit that. Let's see. I'm gonna go for it, which will probably destroy everything, and get one of my fat bristle brushes that are like an inch. And we're just going to do some flicking. These are so fun. These are like super easy to get your hands on. You can get like packs of them for very little money. I don't love them for a lot of reasons, because they are definitely very clearly cheaply made. They definitely like lose bristles constantly, and they don't make a lot of things easier, but they add texture like you wouldn't believe it. And you gotta love that. Oh no, a little bit got through. Well, that's kind of fun. I think I'm actually going to grab the tiniest bit of white, because it just feels a little too flat for my liking. And I just glob white on there. This is very watery because the paint itself is already watery, and my brush is definitely so wet. So that might leave quite an interesting texture on some of this. Yeah, I really hope to actually push a lot more with my paint color choices, mixing all of the above, but when I have such a weird mixture of tones and things left that everything just gets really muddy, so it can just be a bit difficult. The one downside to buying kits of paint is kind of just stuff like that. Oh no. Alright, I'm actually think I'm gonna call that. I'm relatively happy with it. It's not the most detailed thing I've ever done, but it's also not the worst by any means. Trying to get shit out of the way. Well, we have this piece here, and like I said, honestly, I kind of wish I could cut it, but it's not the worst thing. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Obviously, I've said what I wish could be better, and this was all done in less than an hour, like 45 minutes, so I really can't complain too much of just a little kind of doodle paint situation thrown together. So, I will turn off my camera so that I don't have to edit that any further, but here we are. I'm actually, you know what, I'm more happy with it the more I look at it. I think if I really wanted to be like, let's add something to the top, I could put like, I don't know, something, an insect, just a little swirl, a more specific shape in the sky. Maybe I will in the future if I don't feel like trimming it. We'll see. I'm just gonna let it sit because that is then feeding into my whole I need to finesse with everything situation, which I need to stop doing. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry if this was longer than you would like or too chatty and you wanted me to talk more about painting. I just was chilling, you know, just chilling. So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much again. I post about art a lot on my Instagram at @ShelbyLynLives, so if you're interested, go over there. I have a Patreon where I talk more about it. I post more videos of like time lapses, different sketches and paintings and whatnot, so that's the two places to really find me if you want to talk art or really anything. I don't really maintain to one area in life, so again, thank you, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye.